Why have you advised your wife to invest in index funds after your death rather than Berkshire Hathaway? I believe Munger has counseled his offspring to, quote, not be so dumb as to sell.
Yeah. She won't be selling any Berkshire to buy the index funds. All of my Berkshire, every single share, will go to philanthropy. So that I don't even regard myself as owning Berkshire. Basically, it's committed, and so far about 40% has already been distributed. So the question is, somebody who is not an investment professional will be, I hope, reasonably elderly by the time that the estate gets settled. And what is the best investment, meaning one that there would be less worry of any kind connected with, and less people coming around and saying, why don't you sell this and do something else and all those things. She's going to have more money than she needs. And the big thing then you want is money not to be a problem. And there will be no way that if she holds the S&P, or virtually no way, absent something happened with weapons of mass destruction, but virtually no way that she'll have all the money that she possibly can use. She'll have a little liquid money so that if stocks are down tremendously at some point, they close the stock exchange for a while, anything like that, she'll still feel that she's got plenty of money. And the object is not to maximize. It doesn't make any difference whether the amount she gets doubles or triples or anything of the sort. The important thing is that she never worries about money the rest of her life. And I had an Aunt Katie here in Omaha, who Charlie knew well, and worked for her husband, as did I. And she worked very hard all her life and had lived in a house she paid, $8,000 for, 45th and Hickory, all her life. And because she was in Berkshire, she lived to 97. She ended up with, a few $100 million. And she would write me a letter every 4 or 5 months, and she said, "Dear Warren, I hate to bother you, but am I going to run out of money?" And and I would write her back, and I'd say, "Dear Katie, it's a good question, because if you live 986 years, you're going to run out of money." And then about 4 or 5 months later, she'd write me the same letter again. And I have seen there's no way in the world, if you've got plenty of money, that it should become a minus in your life. And there will be people, if you've got a lot of money, that come around with various suggestions for you, sometimes well-meaning, sometimes not so well-meaning. So if you've got something that's certain to deliver, it was all in Berkshire, they'd say, well, if Warren was alive today, he would be telling you to do this. I just don't want anybody to go through that. And the S&P will be I think actually what I'm suggesting is what a very high percentage of people should do something like that. And I don't think they will have I think there's a chance they won't have as much peace of mind if they own one stock and they've got neighbors and friends and relatives that are trying to do some, like I say, sometimes well-intentioned, sometimes otherwise, to do something else. And so I think it's a policy that will get a good result and is likely to stick. Charlie?
Well, as Becky said, the Mungers are different. I want them to hold the Berkshire.
Well, I want to hold the Berkshire too.
No, I don't like the. I recognize the logic of the fact that S&P algorithm is very hard to beat. A diversified portfolio of big companies, it's all but impossible for most people. But I'm just more comfortable with the Berkshire.
Well, it's the family business.
Yeah.
But I've seen too many people as they get older, particularly being susceptible and just having to listen to the arguments of people coming along.
Well, if you're going to protect your heirs from the stupidity of others, you may have some good system, but I'm not much interested in that subject.
Okay.